Good morning, I'm making menudo. I cut up the menudo last night and I put 4 pounds. Well, no, I'm lying, 6 pounds. And I have some patas in there, or feet, pig's feet. And I'm going to let them boil first. I'm going to throw out the first boiled water. I'm just going to let it boil real quick, get some of that fat and some of the impurities out, throw it out, and then start the whole process again of boiling, and then I'll put in all the spices. Okay, so for now I'm just going to let it boil. I just put it in right now. The water hasn't even started boiling. But I'm going to let it come up to a boil and then throw it out. Okay, I'll be back when I start everything. Okay, these are just some of the spices we're going to be needing. It's going to be the chicken flavor bouillon, which is the caldo de pollo. We're also going to need some cumin, which is going to be the ground comino. And then we're also going to need some chile ancho, some chile japones, and some chile guajillo. We're also going to need some black pepper, some oregano, bay leaf. I'm going to use 2 types of garlic. I'm going to use the powdered garlic, and I'm going to use fresh garlic. And then I'm also going to use caldo de tomate, which is going to be the tomato bouillon, the knorr flavor. And to that, we're going to be needing 3 ancho chiles. I'm going to make the chili paste right now, which is going to be the chili, because I don't use chili powder on my menudo. You know what, I'm lying. I used about maybe 3 tablespoons of the chili powder, but that's about it. I don't use much, just to give it a little bit of that flavor, but I usually don't put it in. Sometimes I do. Today I will. So it'll be the chili powder as well. Let me grab that real quick. And that way I can give you an idea of which is going to be the menudo mix. This is the menudo mix I use when I use it. But like I said, I'm only going to use like 3 tablespoons, not much. It's not enough to color the water or anything. It's just a little bit of flavor. Most of the flavoring and coloring is going to come from the chiles right here. And the spices that I just mentioned. Again, that's going to be 3 chile anchos, and I'm going to take them out and let you see them. That way, you know what, let me do that. Because you're going to have to de-seed them, you're going to have to boil them to soften them up, and then you're going to puree them. And then you're going to put them through a colander, not the colander, but the sieve, to get all the little skins out and stuff. So you're going to make a little paste, kind of like if you're going to make either mole, or if you're going to make the sauce for enchilada. Those are the 3 to-go-to chiles that I use for all those 3 meals there. But you're going to need 3 chile anchos, 3, or which is, it could be the poblano, it's the same thing. If you don't find chile ancho, it's the poblano chile. I need 6 chile japoneses, which is going to be this right here. And then the chile ancho is this dry one right here. And then the chile guajillo is going to be these right here. So of the guajillo and the chile japoneses, you're going to need 6 of each. The chile ancho or the poblano one, whichever one you buy, you're going to need 3 of those. That's just for the chili paste. You're going to boil those all together, de-seed them and everything, and take off the little tail from it and stuff, and blend it all together. Okay, for the menudo itself, I'm going to give you that once I get all the menudo and start putting everything into the menudo, so that way it doesn't get too confusing. But I'm going to write out the recipe as well. Okay, I'll be back when I get started with it. I turned off the menudo. This is exactly what I was talking about, the impurities and some of the grease and stuff that I'm going to toss out the first water that I boiled. I don't like any of that right there. And then I'm going to give it a quick rinse and then put it back to boil again. Okay? I'll be back when I start putting all the spices in. Okay, so this is going to be what I'm going to use to make to flavor the menudo. This is going to be the chile rojo. And I know I had said 6 chile japoneses, but they're tiny. So I'm going to go ahead and use 12 of them. And that's going to go straight into the pot. I'm not going to de-seed those. These right here are going to be the chile guajillos, chili pots. And you just cut it in half right here in the center. And take out any seeds that are in here. And these aren't spicy at all. This is all flavor right here. Now these are going to be chile anchos. On the chile anchos, you're going to need 3 chile anchos. And get this open here. Same thing, just cut it in half. And just take out the chili. You can wear gloves if you want to, because sometimes, well, most of the time this will stain you. Don't be wearing white clothes, because you will get a stain or two on your clothes. And I really don't have to deseed these right now. Reason being is because when I boil them, I'm going to put them through the sieve. Or after I blend them, I'm going to put them to the sieve, and or which is that colander that has kind of like a mesh looking net to it, but it's wire. I'm going to put it through there, strain it through there, and take out any skins of the chiles and any seeds that are going to fall out. That I'm not going to get all of this, you can see. So, but that's all to doing this. I'm going to be back. Let me go ahead and finish cleaning these up, and then I will bring you back once they're boiled and hydrated and everything. Okay, so I threw out the water and I put in fresh water. You're still going to have grease and stuff, but just not as much grease and as much as those impurities that are in there. But I take out as much grease as I need it to now, or that I can, you know. But I'm putting it to boil again. I'm going to bring it up to a boil. I just put the burner back on. Okay. Okay, so the chiles, I just put them in the water. I'm going to bring the water up to a boil. I put a lot. I mean, if I push my finger all the way down, I mean, I put a lot of water. But the reason I do that is because I'm going to use the water also as well for the menudo. So I'm going to bring this to a boil. Once it's to the boil, I'm going to go through the process of showing you how I do it. Okay? And the menudo's over there boiling. So I will bring you all back when we start doing some more stuff. So I already boiled them for about, I don't know, 5-6 minutes. And I'm just going to let the water cool off. Let them sit there in that water bath. See how dark it is already? Don't throw that juice away. You're going to use it in the menudo. And I'm just going to let the chiles go ahead and sit there. They're already soft enough. I'm just going to let them sit there for a while. And as far as the menudo, it's boiling. But you see all that right there? All that's going to be scooped out. All those impurities. Okay, so here are all the spices I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon of your garlic powder, and then of your black pepper 2 tablespoons. Your menudo mix, it's going to be 3 tablespoons. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of minced fresh garlic later on, but for right now this is the spices I'm going to put in there. I also have the knorr tomate and the knorr pollo, 3 tablespoons of each. I also have 3.5 tablespoons of the oregano, and then I also have 3 bay leaves. They're kind of small, so normally I put 2, but they're small, so I'm going to do that. And that's all I'm going to do for this right now. I'm going to pour it in the menudo mix, and I'm going to go ahead and work on the paste, the chile rojo. Okay, give that a good mix. Okay, so now they've cooled off. They're still hot, but I'm gonna put the little chiles here in my little, one of my different type of blenders I have here. And you could do a little bit at a time, that way it doesn't get too thick. Well, you know what? No, it's not that many chiles. I'm gonna do all of them. And don't throw away the juice, because you're gonna put it in the paste, because the paste is gonna be super thick. Get all the little chilitos in there. See, and the juice got real dark. See if I find any more. Get a little cup for this.
And you want it to cool off because you don't want it to be in any of your blenders or anything like that super hot. Because if it splatters, it's going to go on you, so you're going to burn yourself. Okay, now I'm going to put the little lid on it. See how it's coming up right here? I'm going to put a little towel underneath. Guess it will stain your counter. Okay. I'll be back once all this is blended. Okay, so I blended it. It's not blended all the way completely. Get a bowl that you don't care if it stains and use a sieve right here. I'm going to put it through. And I'll probably put it in twice. Whatever's left in the sieve right here, I'll put it back in. And get a spatula that's dark, or you don't mind that it gets stained. Because the white ones will stain completely. Okay, see how there's a lot of skin still there? I'm going to just drain out as much as I can of the liquid, the paste to it. And then once I do that, I'm going to pull out the pulp that's left, any of the skin and seeds or whatever, put it back in the blender with a little bit more juice. I'm going to get out as much as I can from it. Because all of what's drained out in the water, the juice broth from this is going to go into the menudo. Okay, I'm going to put this back in the blender. Hold on, let me scrape this off before I get it everywhere. Okay, move this out of the way. Okay, and it's going to go back into the blender. And we're going to add some more of that juice. And only 1 cup at a time. That way it doesn't splatter out of the of your blender that much. Unless you have like a real tall blender. Why am I having trouble? Okay. And we're just going to give it a quick. Make sure you wipe your counter as you're going if it does splatter out so it doesn't stain it. Okay, put it through here again. Okay, so just continue to do this process until you use up all the water and there's not much of the pulp left from the chiles. Okay, so this is what you're left with after putting it through the sieve, all these skins from the chiles. Put that aside. And this is what you want to be left with right here. It's a beautiful little paste. Okay, and I'm going to add half of that first to the menudo, give it a taste, and see if it's, because you don't want to make the menudo too strong of the chile. Sometimes it becomes very strong of taste. So you want to do a little bit at a time. I've used all of it sometimes, and other times I have not. So it just depends on the amount of menudo I made. I should keep track of how many pounds I made so I know how much sauce to use. So I'm going to go ahead and use the, let me bring you over here. Okay, it's a little cloudy, you can barely see. but I'm adding about a cup right now. Give that a mix. And it's dark pretty good, so I'm going to give that a taste to see if it's, after I clean off a little bit of the foam off. And then I'm going to add a cup also of the broth. I'm doing it slowly because I saw there was a chile in there. And there's some seeds. Okay, so a cup of that. Let me give that a good mix. Give it a taste. And see if I need more of the chile or not. I don't think I do. But I do want to give it a taste. I'll put some in a little bowl over here. Okay, so I am going to do the last of the spice, which is going to be 3 of the garlic. Oh, I love this little, I don't even know what you call it. I don't even remember. I know Bed Bath and Body or Beyond or something, whatever it's called, has some, but I don't like theirs. Theirs looks like this. It came with this little gadget. This right here will mince your garlic. It's like a little car. But I don't know how to use it. I guess basically the same way. And I've had this. I don't know where I purchased it. And I love it because all I have to do is just roll it in between. And it's a little rubbery thing. And you take off the this skin of it. And then you put it in here. And you just roll it around. Just a few times. I'm going to do it a little bit more, but you get the idea. It's smushed up in there. Not smushed, but it's going to be cut up into smaller pieces in that. I'm going to put another garlic. And you just do one at a time just to make sure it gets all. And then once all these 3 little clovers are minced, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the menudo. And yes, I put garlic powder, but fresh garlic tastes so much better and has a different flavor. They don't taste the same as the powdered one. Okay, you can see right there it's all minced. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'm going to go put this in the menudo. I'm going to do the last one. I'll be back when the menudo's done. Okay, so now I'm going to add the pozole, hominy, juice and all. And give it a good mix. I'm going to let it cook for another 20 minutes. And it should be ready to eat. If you don't want your meat to come out darker than this, don't put the chile in it too early. Wait a while. Wait about an hour before you put it in. That way it's not as dark. Okay, I'll be back when this is done. Okay, the menudo is done. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. Let me get the spoon. A little bit of cilantro. Okay, and then I'm also going to add a little bit of fresh cut up jalapeno peppers. Some onion. Squeeze some lemon. I'm going to do it on the spoon so if any seeds fall on it. that one squirted a lot all the way across. Let's see here. Ah, missed a seed. Now you could add chunks of avocado to this, or you can put it in the corn tortilla. Which I'm just going to put some in the tortilla. And that's it. We're done. Ready to eat it. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to sit down and enjoy this now.